everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome to Thrifty Thursday. So I'm here today with my thrift haul. I kind of found the coolest things, so I'm super excited. I don't know what is wrong with me, but like, look at these geese. This is a quilt top, okay? So I just really fell in love with them. I was literally in line leaving my thrift store, and so the thrift store that I went to is in Mennonite, in a Mennonite area, and so there's a lot of quilting supplies, quilt tops, those kind of things. I buy fabric there often. I myself do know how to quilt, and I have made quilts. But there was just something about these geese. They were like staring at me. This thing was hanging near the checkout. I had already checked out. I'd looked at it like 8 times, and then I was like, oh, for Pete's sake. So yeah. To go back and get it because it's just hilarious. I don't know what I like about it, but I like everything about it, I guess. First of all, it has some of this fabric too, just like these geese, these poppies. I have no idea what geese and poppies have to do with each other, but there's also some nice like little, hand pieced bits on it, and I do like the colors of it. The fabrics are quite nice. It's hard to show you the whole thing here, but like it's just really, it's pretty, and I love these florals. Like these florals are so vintage and pretty. Like it's just a really cool different kind of quilt. So anyways, it's hard to show this whole thing to you, but I wanted to start with it. Okay, so next you're probably going to be like, what is wrong with you? This box. Okay, so it's not going to stay like this. I'm going to be using it for a project. It's totally going to look transformed. So for those of you who follow my channel and you've been watching me for a while, just remember this box, because the next time that you see this box in the future, you are not going to recognize what's going to happen with it. So keep that in mind. I will mention it again in the future when I finish the project. Then I managed to find some lace, which these days I just haven't been finding much of, so I actually did find a decent amount of lace today. So this bag was 80 cents, and it's got nice like white laces in it, a few different kinds, nothing like super spectacular, but a nice variety. I like that one actually. And this one also, let's get rid of that little pin so that no one gets stabbed, namely me. And yeah, I like that one too. Very cute. So those are the white laces. They'll probably take a tea bath. And then some blues for $1.50. I found these. Okay, so take a look. This one's very fine. And then that one, I like that one. This one, just kind of your standard fare of lace really. And then this is a little bit different. See, it's double that width. There's a pin in there too. Okay, and then this, it's kind of cute. It's the same, I think, yeah. And this one is really cute. I love it. That's my favorite one out of all of them, I think, in the blues. And then just some nice navy bits. And then this was 50 cents. This is like a wide piece of lace with like some sheer bit at the top here. So it's this nice green. Yeah. And it's got like bows at the bottom and flowers above and then leaves above that. And this one was $1 and it's more blue, with a little bit of like a burgundy. And it's just some bits and bobs, like perfect for journals, right? And then let's get rid of this pin. Nice thick wide lace, good for pockets. And then I found this fabric. It's so pretty. It's a nylon taffeta, but look at how iridescent that is. It's got like blue, purple, and gold, and like, you know, just different shades of that. So yeah, I really thought that was cute. And it's 3 yards and 40 inches wide. So very nice. And then green lace. This pack was $1. And this one makes me really happy because I love green. And there's just like, these are sort of like the laces that you find in like the seam binding style lace. And then this one I thought was really cute, very delicate. And that color as well. The one that I'm really excited about is this though. Like, look at that appley green kind of shade. Oh, let's get that old pin out of there. Look at that. So pretty. And then another $1 bag. This one is yellow. And I like the mustardy kind of tones that were in here. And I heard a pin fall right there. Okay, so first that one. There's 2 sort of little reams of that. And then another pin. Kind of that same seam binding type lace. And then this is really interesting. And then this stuff, the same as that appley green color, but in like a gold. And then I found for 50 cents just a little acrylic block for stamping. And I could use a smaller one. I think my smallest one that I have is about twice the size of this block. So for my little stamps, like, I think that will be perfect. So I'm just going to clean that up and yeah, that'll be good. And then I found this doily. So this doily was $3, but it's a really big one, so I don't mind that I paid $3. Hold on, let me get it right side up. Look at that, isn't that cool? And it's all like hand done with cotton floss, and it's like really what's the word, like just really condensed, right? That's a lot of work. So to pay $3 for something like that is actually quite crazy. And then I got this. This was $1.50, and it is 2.9 meters long, and it's gold. That's pretty cool. So that's all the lace, I think. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm just grabbing stuff here. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Then I found this. I've had this book before. I actually have about half of it left still. The Springs of Joy. It's a Tasha Tudor book. And if you're not familiar with Tasha Tudor, her illustrations are really beautiful. And they're often like used in a lot of poetry type books. So yeah, really cute. And I'm sharing these in Thrifty Thursday because I know that Nat Williams mentioned that she's going to wrap up Friday book haul, so she's going to share her books in Thrifty Thursday. I'll probably do the same, to be honest, because I'm not getting as many books right now. I'm kind of like in a use up what I have sort of mode. So yeah, but I think, I don't know, if I do have like a big book haul, maybe I'll put it as part of Friday book haul. I don't know. This is Butterfly Park by Ellie McKay. And this is a beautiful book. I have a copy of this book already that I got for my daughter, and I was happy to find a copy of it at the thrift store because every time we read it, I'm like, oh, this would be so pretty in a journal. And it's a beautifully illustrated book. I really love this style of illustration. It's very unique. Let me see if I can find a page that, well, first of all, this tip out here is really cool. If I can show you what I mean about like how it's illustrated, like, so you can see there's like aspects of like things in real life that have been made, like this wooden house, and this is like a piece of cloth hanging on a fence. But all of the little characters are these little cutouts, and you can see in 3D that they are hand drawn on a piece of paper and cut out in that shape, and that everything is in shapes like that have been cut out, and they're photographing the scene. So see these little gnomes? Like there's a lot of detail in the background too that you don't necessarily notice right away. Yeah, so it's the kind of thing you notice when you read a book, like to a child over and over. It's like you start to notice different things about it. And then next I got this little book. This was more for reading than cutting up, I think. 100 Flowers and How They Got Their Names. So it's a nice little book. It talks about, you know, just different sort of legend about flowers, different kinds of flowers, how they got their name, and just little information about them. So it's quite a cute book. I was just reading it a little bit in the car, and I'm really wanting to go through and read it all. And then I got one old book, and it's this one. Mopsa the Fairy, Ingalo. First of all, look at this sweet little owl here. I thought it was so cute. I love the cover. It's beautifully embossed. It's got very fine details here, even behind where it's been embossed in black. And it's just a sweet little size. It has some book plates. Doesn't have a date, but it's really cute. Yeah, here's one of the book plates. Not that one. This one. Yeah, so it's a cute book. And then I found this little manuscript tablet for 98 cents. So it's like a children's writing tablet paper. So cute. And this is another book probably to read. Daughters of the Moon, Sisters of the Sun, Young Women and Mentors on the Transition to Womanhood. So this is mostly Indigenous stories. And I'm really interested in reading about this. So lots of really interesting women in this book. Janet McLeod. Yeah. And then this book, I just love the illustration style. Clocks and More Clocks by Pat Hutchins. And this one kind of reminds me, hold on. I'm making a journal right now. Yeah, it's totally the same author. So I'm making this journal right now, Rosie's Walk, and it's by Pat Hutchins. So isn't that funny that someone's illustration style just appeals to me so much? That I like recognize that. That's great. And that's like an author that I don't necessarily know. Like I obviously could spot like a Maurice Sendak or, you know, like a Graham Base or something, but like this is a different illustrator and author for me. So I'll have to keep my eye out for Pat Hutchins's work because I really love Pat Hutchins's work. This is from 1970. Yeah, and as I'm looking at it now, I'm just like, yes, this is beautiful. I think I'll make a journal out of this book just literally on the theme of this book because I just love it so much. So cute. Okay. Yay! And then this book, also very cute, Gray Squirrel at Pacific Avenue by Jerry Harrington, illustrated by Michelle Chopin Roosevelt. So this one, I just love squirrels, and so I saw it and I was like, ooh, squirrels. So this book is from 2001. And it's got really cute squirrels, birds. Nice cat and a dog, chipmunk. Squirrels are eating my apples right now, my apple tree, those little turkeys, but it's okay. There's plenty to share, I think. Yes, that's a cute little book. Alright, so the next thing I'm really excited about, I'm going to show to you. So this was $1.49. Anatomical charts of the acupuncture points and 14 meridians. So I found this kind of in that area where, like, this was at Tally's, where they throw kind of all the binders and like duotangs and back to school kind of stuff, and this was in there. Now I see these large anatomical posters. It's going to be impossible to show you all of this, but look. So see that? It's like I see these all the time in gigantic frames at antique stores, like for usually upwards of $100, framed in these big, very simple, like not special at all really frames. And like I don't care about the frames. What I care about are these really cool pictures. So let me see if I can turn this and kind of guide it past the camera for you. So see, it's like, they're huge. So that's the second one. And I guess they're Japanese made. Based on the characters, the letters. So there's 1, 2, 3, I think there's about 5 of them in here. I think they're all, I don't know if they're all different. I haven't even looked at them all yet. I didn't pull them all out yet, but let's take a look at this one. Yeah, this one's different as well, but it's all like, that's the back side of the full body. The other two have been like the muscle and then the skeleton. This one is more kind of acupressure. There's a tongue, there's an eye, the whole body there. And yeah, they have like Japanese characters down the side. So I think there's 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. This one is, let's see, kind of like the muscle. I guess that's what they mean by the meridians, right? Like the different systems of the body, skeletal, muscular, respiratory, you know, the blood vessels, like all those kind of things. This one looks more like, yeah, like, I think I just showed you the naughty bits. That's okay. This channel's for adults. Okay, so anyways, that was a fun, interesting find. I'm like, I don't know yet what I'll do with it, but you know what? I often say that, and then I end up having a project where I'm like, oh, I have the perfect thing for that. So let's get that put back together. There we go. And then the last thing I have to show you is really cool. And hopefully it inspires you to look for this kind of thing. So I have like a subscription for my daughter for this one. I forget the name of it. It's a kit though, like to make things like our homeschooling agenda. I don't have this one, Rocker, but I do have another one and I forget the name of it right now. But we make all these little projects once a month. It's a project. I think is it Tinker Kit or something? I don't know. This one is Mechanical Gears, 3D wooden puzzle. So I saw it and I immediately thought, this feels so steampunk, right? Like And, you know, it's got all these tools and little bits and bobs here, but the major thing that excites me is, so this one is empty, but the rest are not. And, you know, all of these pieces, like even this is a really cool shape. Like 3D collage on a cover. Look at those wheels, tons of them. And cogs, of course, you know, the important things. There's another cog. There's like all these different kind of pieces, all sorts of cogs that are all like laser cut machined, and you just push them to punch them out. So like that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boards of that. Plus I have this one that's like just the negative of it. But yeah, I was like, this is really going to be great to do projects with. And you know, I recently saw, I won't say the brand name, but like there's a popular brand of like mixed media supply. And I saw the other day when I was at like my paper art store, there's this little tiny bag that had like 5 little gears in it, and it was like $11 or something. And I was just kind of like, wow. You know, I think sometimes we have to be careful with things that are like orchestrated or curated for specifically women's art or craft, because you've got to be very careful, like with like getting something, it's like the pink toolbox, right? For women, they make the pink tools and they put it in a pink toolbox, and it's 10 times more expensive, and that's what we call pink tax. I see an awful lot of pink tax in art supplies, especially those geared toward the kind of art that you see mainly you know, women very active in. Like I would say that the paper industry with like scrapbooking, all these different kind of paper, card making, especially those two, I think, but even mixed media, there's a lot of male-led companies that sell to women, and they know it. And I'm not going to say that it's intentional or not, but like there's definitely something to it that's not coincidental, right? And we know that, like in the whole market overall of consumable goods. So just think, you know, outside the box when you're shopping, because finding stuff like this is great. Like you're going to prevent yourself from overspending on something that you don't need to. So yeah, if you're working on a project that's steampunk, go to that, you know, area of the thrift store where you find all the hardware, and you find things that are like unusual, and you know, go to the electronics section. Have you ever taken apart any kind of thing like a clock radio? You will be amazed what's inside. And you know, I'm really inspired to do that kind of thing for a couple reasons. One, when I was a kid, we had an old television, like the box kind of, you know, those wooden models that sat on the floor. They were in a wooden box, and it was like a tube television. So we had one of those, and then it was no good anymore, and so we got rid of it and got a more modern television. But my father took the picture tube out, like the dangerous part of it, and then we had this kind of, my dad lives in like an 1800s building, like a large building that has several units, and he's managed it pretty much my whole life, and he's lived there. And so there's like this weird, it's almost like a tree house. It's 2 levels. It sits on the ground and it goes into the trees, and it's just been built on the back of the building. And when I was a kid, it was like my tree house fort kind of thing. So my dad needed somewhere to put this TV case and all the guts of it minus the picture tube. So he put it in the bottom of my treehouse kind of thing, which was unofficially my treehouse. And so then I was like, this is really cool. So I was really attracted to all the different colors of wires. There's hundreds of wires, you know, copper centers with all different colors of plastic coatings on them. So I would pull them all out, and I would make like friendship bracelets with them. And then, you know, as I got more and more into kind of gutting this TV, I was finding all these little silver bits of this and that and transistors and things, and it just really sparked my imagination. And yeah, it's kind of why I'm like a bit of a magpie. I think it's one of those kind of memories that burned into my head. So when my daughter was really small, I was like, I noticed that naturally she would try to take things apart. Like she was always taking stuff apart, like her toys. She would try to like, just kind of dismantle them and stuff. So then I started buying her little things like, you don't want your kids to like take the TV remote. I would buy her own TV remote, and then she would get into kind of like taking it apart. So we have a local recycle center near my house, and we go there and we get that kind of stuff, and we do these kind of, safely, these kind of projects. But yeah, just try to think like that. Like, are you doing a journal about, trains or something? Like, do you need buttons for things? Buy an old remote control, use that to make a cool 3D journal front. Yeah, just try to like think. Also think about like how you could take something that probably would go into the landfill and upcycle it. Like do something cool with it. One really cool thing you can do is Big Garbage Day. I shouldn't be encouraging you, but like I have found so many cool things on Big Garbage Day that people are just throwing away. I found a really cool like 1900s school desk, and it's now in my home and it's used all the time, and like just different stuff. We saw the other day, we didn't pick them up, but somebody was throwing away these beautiful shutters, like great big wooden shutters. And those are custom shutters. They cost thousands of dollars to get in your home, but in where I live, the houses, they're selling for very high prices now, and people move in, they gut it, and they throw everything away, even though the people who just moved out just replaced a bunch of things to try to sell the house. So it's kind of stressful to watch. Like, all this money was spent and they just renovated. Then the new people come in and they say, I like black, not white, and they throw it all away because it's white. Like, so yeah, we try to do a little bit of like, first of all, picking things up to donate them to places like, the Restore for Habitat for Humanity or something, just to prevent it from going into the junkyard, right? Where it will go if you hire one of those terrible companies like, Got Junk or 1-800-JUNK. They are not doing anything for the environment. They are throwing it all into a dumpster on the back of a truck, and they are taking it to the landfill. So if you can be mindful about what you throw away, and like if you can upcycle things, do it, I say. Because like, I've created so much really cool shelving in my house that's like very magical looking. People freak out when they come into my house and they say like, where did you get that? I built a ton of shelving out of old drawers from dressers. It's a box. Think about it. Plunk it on the wall. You can make, what's really popular I'm seeing these days are people are cutting like a square or whatever shape out of their drywall, and they're inserting like a little box inside there, and they're making these little scenes. And some of them are doing it in a bookish way where they do it in their library, and it looks like a book, like a little book nook in between a bunch of old books. It's just so fun. So anyhow, I'm rambling, but I hope that this makes your imagination kind of rev a little bit, because you can create such cool things that will just make people say like, how did you do that? How did you get there? Do it. You will find such cool stuff to play with. Anyhow, that's it for me, and I hope you have an awesome Thrifty Thursday and that the thrifty fairies are with you. So bye for now, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.